Are you over 75 and still thinking that a daily walk is the gold standard for staying active and healthy? Let me stop you right there, because leading orthopedic surgeons, geriatricians, and researchers from places like Stanford, Johns Hopkins, the National Institute on Aging, and Mayo Clinic are increasingly clear on this. For most people past 75, walking by itself is no longer sufficient. In fact, if it's your only exercise, it can sometimes accelerate joint wear without adequately addressing the real threats that come with advanced age. The one movement that consistently rises to the top as superior, safer in the long run for fragile joints, and surgeon-approved time and again is the humble chair squat, or sit-to-stand exercise. It's deceptively simple, requires zero fancy equipment, carries almost no risk when performed mindfully, and delivers dramatically better outcomes than endless miles on flat pavement when it comes to preserving independence, slashing fall risk, rebuilding lost muscle, and even supporting bone health. Let's talk straight about why this shift in thinking matters so urgently after 75. Your body is in the grip of accelerated sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle wasting that ramps up sharply in the mid-70s and beyond. Without intervention, you can lose 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade earlier in life, but past 75 that rate often doubles or worse if nothing pushes back against it. Walking is wonderful for cardiovascular health, mood, gentle circulation, and maintaining some endurance. But it's predominantly an aerobic, low-resistance activity. It doesn't generate the heavy loading signals your large leg muscles, quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, need to receive the message, maintain me, grow me, don't let me disappear. When those signals are absent, those critical muscles shrink year by year. Everyday actions turn into ordeals. Standing up from a low couch requires rocking back and forth multiple times. Stairs feel like climbing a mountain. Getting on and off the toilet becomes exhausting or unsafe. Worst of all, balance erodes because weak legs can't correct a stumble quickly enough. Statistics paint a sobering picture. Roughly 1 in 4 adults over 65 experiences a fall annually. But after 75, that risk climbs steeply, often to 1 in 3 or higher in frailer individuals. Hip fractures from those falls still carry a 1-year mortality rate that hovers around 20 to 30%, even with modern care, not to mention the cascade of lost mobility, nursing home placement, depression, and skyrocketing healthcare costs that follow. Chair squats change everything because they are functional resistance training in the disguise of a movement you already do dozens of times a day. Multiple studies, including randomized trials and meta-analyses published in journals like Scientific Reports, Experimental Gerontology, the Journal of Gerontology, and reviews from the NIA, show that programs incorporating repeated sit-to-stand or chair rises produce 20 to 43% greater improvements in lower body strength compared to walking-only routines in adults 75 and older. Sit-to-stand speed improves markedly, often by 30–40% within 8 to 12 weeks, directly translating to easier transfers in daily life. Balance scores climb, timed up-and-go tests get faster, and most importantly, actual fall incidence drops, sometimes by 35 to 47% over 6 to 12 months when strength training like this is emphasized. Bone responds too. The vertical loading through hips, spine, and femurs during the stand-up phase stimulates osteoblasts better than low-impact walking ever could, helping slow or partially reverse the bone thinning that makes fractures so catastrophic. Orthopedic surgeons frequently prescribe variations of this exact move for patients recovering from hip or knee replacements because it rebuilds precisely the quadriceps and glute strength needed to protect those artificial joints long-term. Physical therapists and geriatric specialists call it the king of functional exercises for seniors because it mimics real-life demands without high impact. Doing it correctly is straightforward and forgiving, perfect for home use. Grab a sturdy, non-wheeled chair. Standard dining height, around 18 to 20 inches, is ideal. Avoid anything too low, like a soft recliner, or too high like a bar stool. Sit all the way back so your hips are fully supported and your buttocks touch the seat. Place your feet flat on the floor, shoulder width apart or slightly wider. Toes pointing forward or turned out 10 to 15 degrees, whatever feels most stable for your hips and knees. You can rest your hands lightly on your thighs, cross them over your chest for extra challenge, or keep them on arm rests only if balance is very shaky at first. The goal is to wean off arm help quickly. Keep your chest lifted, shoulders relaxed away from your ears, and gaze straight ahead, not down at your feet. To stand, breathe in, then exhale as you drive through your heels. Push your hips forward, and rise tall to a full stand without leaning excessively forward or rounding your back. Squeeze your glutes lightly at the top if you can feel it. Pause for 1 or 2 seconds, standing tall. Feel that sense of control. Then reverse. Inhale as you hinge at the hips. Push them back first, not knees forward, and lower slowly under full muscle control until you feel the seat touch your bottom. Don't plop or collapse. That eccentric, lowering phase is where a huge amount of strength-building magic happens. That's 1 repetition. Start conservatively. Aim for 8 to 12 reps per set. Rest 60-120 seconds between sets. Complete 2-3 sets total. 3 non-consecutive days per week is the sweet spot for most beginners. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example. Though some research shows solid gains even with twice-weekly sessions. If full stands feel intimidating or your knees protest, modify intelligently. Scoot forward on the seat so your knees are over your toes and the distance to rise is shorter. Use your hands on armrests or thighs to assist the up phase, but focus on controlling the down phase slowly, 3 to 5 seconds lowering. Or do partial reps. Rise only halfway, then sit back down controlled. As confidence builds over 2 to 4 weeks, reduce assistance until you're doing full reps hands-free. Breathe rhythmically. Exhale on effort, standing. Inhale on release, sitting. Move deliberately. No rushing. If you feel sharp pain, not just normal muscle effort, stop and consult your physician or PT. The transformation timeline is encouraging and realistic. Many people notice subtle shifts by week 3 to 4. The chair no longer feels like an obstacle. You rise to greet someone at the door with 1 smooth motion instead of multiple pushes. By week 6 to 8, grocery shopping stops feeling like a marathon. Your legs carry you through the aisles without that heavy, leaden fatigue by the end. Stairs become manageable again. You climb without gripping the rail for dear life or pausing halfway. Fall's risk recedes because stronger quads and glutes act like built-in airbags. They catch missteps faster, and improved proprioception, your brain's awareness of limb position, keeps everything steadier. Beyond safety, metabolic perks emerge. Added muscle mass raises your basal metabolic rate, helping regulate blood sugar better, crucial if prediabetes or type 2 is in the picture. Lowers chronic inflammation markers, and often improves sleep quality since your body isn't fighting constant low-level exhaustion. Many in their late 70s and 80s report sharper mental clarity too, less brain fog from fatigue, and a renewed sense of capability that spills into social life, hobbies, even emotional well-being. This isn't a one-and-done fix forever. Progression keeps the gains coming. When 12-15 smooth, hands-free reps feel comfortable with no wobble. Level up gradually. Hold a light weight, 2 to 5 lobby dumbbell, soup cans, or water bottles. crossed at your chest. Count a slow 4-second eccentric phase every rep. Practice rising from a slightly lower surface. Add a firm cushion, then remove it later. Add a 2 to 3 second pause at the bottom without fully unloading weight onto the seat. You can even progress to freestanding squats against a wall for support or step-ups onto a low stable box. But here's the beauty. Even if you stay at basic bodyweight chair squats done crisply 3 times weekly for years, you're still outperforming a walking-only routine in nearly every metric that matters for longevity and quality of life past 75, strength retention, fall prevention, functional mobility, bone protection, independence. If your current advice has been, just walk more, that's plenty, it's time for a gentle upgrade rooted in evidence. Tomorrow morning, after your coffee or tea, pull up a chair and try 8 to 10 careful reps. Feel your legs engage. Notice the solid push from your heels. Experience that quiet victory of standing tall without struggle. Repeat 2 days later. Keep a simple log. Date, sets, reps, any notes. Easier today. Used arms less. Within 8 to 12 weeks, most people reflect back and see they've gifted themselves something priceless. The realistic chance to remain in their own home, handle daily tasks solo, visit family without constant worry, travel a bit, play with great-grandkids on the floor, and get up again safely. All from one movement pattern, one piece of furniture you already own, 10-15 minutes a few times a week. Surgeons witness the aftermath of inaction every day. Fractured hips, prolonged recoveries, lost autonomy. They also see the opposite. Patients in their 80s and 90s who quietly incorporated chair squats or similar resistance moves and stayed remarkably robust. The data backs them. Resistance-focused training like this consistently ranks higher than pure aerobic walking for combating sarcopenia, preventing catastrophic falls, and extending healthy, independent years. You don't need a gym membership, expensive gear, or perfect joints to start. You need a chair, intention, and consistency. One exercise, one small daily rebellion against decline. Stand up strong. Your body, your freedom, your future self will thank you every single day. Keep going. You've got this. If this video brought you value, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post science-based health tips for people over 60 who want to stay strong and independent. See you in the next episode.